So now that you've got all of your clips in the timeline and you have previewed them and you make sure it's all the way you like it. For example, I couldn't decide between a couple spots, so I made some choices. I don't know if you can see these right here, but I've got some hovering above. Let me zoom in. This is that clapping area. So I couldn't decide if I wanted this one. Let me back up just a little bit. Right there. Or, and here's a neat little trick. If you have some clips that you're just playing out, you want to test right here, turn them on or turn them off. If I turn this off, it's going to turn my whole track off. I could put them, I guess another good idea and easier would be to put them up on a track way above that nothing else is on. And if I do this, I can easily see that track 5 doesn't have anything on it. So I could do that. Or there's another option where you select the clips. Let me put my playhead over them. I select the clips by dragging a box on them or just selecting one, and then under the clip menu, memorize this shortcut, Shift E. So if I just hold down the Shift key and press E, those clips become see-through or not. So here's another one I was playing with. Let me shrink my timeline a little bit. So if I'm juggling that, if I'm kind of tossed, between those, I can just make sure they're selected, do Shift E, play it, or Shift E again and play it. I'm not sure if it selected it, if it did it. Yeah, it did. So anyway, so that's just a short little thing. So now that you've watched it all the way through and you like it and you've made all the adjustments, you've checked your transitions, then it's time to export. So to avoid any possible problems, it's always best practice to get to the end of your timeline, and the best way to do that is hit the down arrow. Okay, hit the down arrow. Notice you go to the end of the timeline. Now, if I hit my up arrow, I go to the beginning. Now, you remember before, it would take us to different every edit point, but it looks like it only does that if I have edit points in here. Let me see if I can just make a quick cut right here on just that part right there. Switch back to the V tool. So now I broke my main friends intro. So if I hit down, yeah. So I don't know why, but I'm going to undo that because I don't want that chopped into. But anyway, so long story short, hit the down arrow, get to the end of your project, and hit the letter O to set an out point. Now you've already got an in point at the beginning, but just in case, it could be that somehow you accidentally hit the letter I right there and you've got a gray spot. You want to make sure you're at the very beginning, hit I, go to the very end, hit O. All right, so this is your active export region. Make sure you don't have anything else at the end of this, that your video dies down right there, and we're going to export by either choosing the shortcut Control M, which now I got to see where it is here. It might be under Edit, Export. I think it's under the File menu. I just learned where it is by using the keyboard shortcut. Control M is this right here. So export media, we're going to export everything, or the keyboard shortcut Control M. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit Control M just because I'm a keyboard nut. Oh, sorry, and you have to make sure your project area is selected. Okay, make sure your project area is selected. It didn't do anything. And so it may be you only need to have your project area selected, but just in case, choose your in and out point and have this sequence panel selected with blue around it, Control M. Now it pops up. The window may be kind of big for your screen, but because before for me it opened up and this was way down here like that buried. So if you need to lift it up or even shrink it, you can shrink it a little bit so you can see everything. It looks kind of intimidating because there's a lot of stuff in here, especially when you start scrolling around. But the only things you need to worry about are the format. So this one here, the format, the preset, and the output name. We're not going to mess with anything else. So, and pay attention to where it is being saved. Now, in the past, I've said be careful that it is not going to the OneDrive. So I'm going to take care of where mine goes in a second. But right now, under format, so the three things: format, preset, output name. Do not uncheck or check anything else. Everything should stay the same. Output, you want to make sure the format is H.264. That will give us an MP4 file. There are many other things, and you can explore that later. Maybe you're making a Blu-ray DVD or whatever. But H.264, the source, I'm sorry. Actually, let me look at this. Maybe this was one. Yes, I'm sorry. So the preset too. The preset, let's go down and we're going to pick mobile device 720 HD. So it's not going to be super high quality, but it will be 720. That's considered high def for mobile devices. So we don't want to export, 4K, anything like that. For one, we don't have anything much over this quality, but that's okay. 720 HD is a good standard for us to follow for now. So H.264, mobile device 720p, output name, and let's just click this. It's not obvious that you're supposed to click it, but click it, and it will help you choose where it's going to go. So right now, I'm going to put mine on my desktop. Now my desktop, I made this shortcut to my actual desktop. If you choose this desktop here, it's actually going to go out to, I believe it's going to be somewhere on, I don't know. I just like to take control. This one may involve the OneDrive, the district, and their shenanigans. But if you want to follow exactly and make sure, just open up the C drive, double-click users, double-click your name. Now, this is the desktop you want it on. You don't want OneDrive in there. Anyway, so mine is there, and I already know that I've got all my stuff saved there. I prefer to see my in a list format. So this is my desktop. All right. And I'm going to hit, I don't want all that other stuff at the end of my name. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to delete all that. It's just going to say Friends Civil War. I may already have one there. It looks like I do. So we'll see what happens. I may have to replace it. I've done this a few times. So that's okay. You won't get this message. Once you do that, it's all set up. This is all good to go. We've done the format, the preset, the output, and hit export. Oh, yeah. Now, you won't get this message either. I've already done it once, so there I go, export. It's going to take half a minute or so, depending on the speed of your computer. But in a second, it'll be done. And this is the file you're going to upload into Canvas. All right, so that's all done. It was exported successfully. You can close that. I've done some changes, so I'm going to do Control S and save. I'm going to, let's see, I've got OBS in the background, so I'm going to, let's see. Well, we'll minimize this. Oh, OBS is already minimized. So somewhere here, oh, where'd it go? Oh, yeah, because this is not my actual desktop. So I'm going to have to go to my Windows Explorer and go to this desktop. And this is the MP4 file I just made. It even tells me right there. And I double click that. There we go.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
I love that part.
It's like you're always stuck in second gear.
I wish I had told you all how to make it widescreen. And now that we've done it for so many days, it would have been easier if we had set it up at the beginning. But seeing that Friends was a 4:3 ratio, and Civil War was widescreen. Anyway, that's the one you're gonna upload. Now let me show you. I did go through the work of making a widescreen version. So right here, let's see. I open it up. There's the widescreen. So it just took a little more effort. Let me click one of these clips down here. I'll put my playhead on it. I'll do Shift E. So you can see I just made the sequence widescreen. I made it match my Civil War clips, and it's something normally you take care of at the very beginning, but I didn't do it. So we're going to live with it. Not a big deal. Just widescreen looks better.
Told you life was gonna be this way.
Yeah, I still can't decide which ones I like. Anyway, so I'm going to do a Control S. I am going to close this. And then this is the one that you will upload into Canvas. All right?